welcome to the Footy Family Podcast. It is July 19th. We are here to bring you a review, purely a review of the World Cup. I'm your host, Nick Patowski. Along with me, my sons, Luke and Axel. We've taken a few days off because Luke was at a tournament. Congratulations, Luke, on winning the tournament, the Davis Legacy Showcase. Luke scored the go-ahead goal and the penalty in the semifinal.
What?
Right?
No,
Anyway.
I scored and then it went to penalties.
We are going to briefly talk about the semifinals, the final, and the third place game. Really briefly about the semifinals.
For reasons known.
Let's just review. So the two semifinals were France and Spain, and England and Argentina. Let's touch on France, Spain first. Spain won this 2-0. Luke, give us
Opposite. Or
Spain won this
Yeah,
2-0.
yeah.
Yeah. Give us your lowdown on what happened on the France-Spain game.
France looked like they had drunk like 3 bottles of vodka before the game.
It was Bastille Day, so this is the French showing up to work on Bastille Day, which is to say they didn't show up.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't pass the balls to each other. They didn't create any great chances. And when they were creating chances, most of them were blocked by the defender. I mean, Elise, their entire offense looked off. Just
Yeah, they had a very
having bad games.
flat day. Axel, what do you have to add to the Spain 2, France 0?
France was just flat and didn't show up. That's about it.
I kind of have an insight that I don't think I've read about. So Oyarzabal scores in the 22nd minute when Digne has a moment of madness and tries to kick that ball and instead kicks Lamine Yamal. And that was essentially right before the end of the first quarter, right? The hydration break.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just got into France's heads. And then they probably like, oh, yeah, we'll play safe to halftime. Came out. And then, unfortunately, another moment of madness from Spain France not defending well. And Porro scores in the 60th. They just didn't show up. Elise leaves as the all-time assist leader for World Cup tournament, and yet
Had a very
couldn't do
poor
it.
game.
So what do you think Deschamps could have done different? Anybody with ideas? Like, he basically made like-for-like subs. I think he should have played Elise and Cherki together.
Well, whatever he said at halftime
He
in
should
the
have subbed
England-France game,
Cherki
he
in
should have
at
said
halftime.
there.
Yeah, true enough. Anyway, that was just a brief recap of that game because, of course, we have more pressing things to talk about. But let's talk about England-Argentina. In brief, this put us into deep mourning. Argentina won 2-1. England took the lead, basically led till deep into the match, and then all shit came to pass, right? Because what happened, Axel?
5 back.
The back five, yeah. What? Tell us a little bit more.
Tuchel, we went up 1-0, and like 5 minutes later, in the 60th minute, we went into a 5 back, and that's exactly. And then Argentina
five.
scored 2 because you can't have one of the best players of all time just doing the same thing for the next 30 minutes and expect something not to happen.
They played not to lose.
They played
not to lose instead of to
Southgate.
win. But
They
interestingly,
played Southgate.
They went to do what I think they did against Mexico, except Mexico doesn't have Messi, and Messi created both goals here. And it was interesting today to watch the final where Argentina with 10 men almost did to Spain what they did to England. They were just ever so short because, of course, who scored the first goal against England? Enzo Fernandez. And who was off the pitch today? Enzo Fernandez.
He's so stupid.
There have been 6 red cards in World Cup finals. Guess which country has 3 of them?
I don't know.
Argentina.
Argentina. So losing
Shocker.
their heads, but more about the final shortly. But it is interesting that Argentina play dark arts football and were able to do so against England. And whether Thomas Tuchel was making the calls to play defensively or the players did that naturally or both, I'm not sure. I think that leads us into
Muscle
the third
memory.
place game, England and France, which ends 6-4. And who was the best player in the England game who should have played in the semifinal? Luke?
Saka.
Oh my
Saka.
God.
With a hat
You
trick.
think if Saka's like prime Ronaldinho, and you think that he would have scored a hat trick?
Scored a hat trick And he should've
Against
come off the bench.
I
in
agree
the
he should have
Argentina
played,
game.
but I think you're overrating how well he would have done against Argentina. Because
I'm
what-
sorry, you get left out of a game and then you score a hat trick. I think that's
what
the
has he done
answer.
besides that game?
I think he would
Played
have been
well
good.
against Norway.
I think he would have been good
Did
against
he do anything
Argentina.
against Norway?
I think he had an assist.
I don't. I didn't mind Morgan
No, he didn't.
Rogers playing, but especially because
did.
he went to Chelsea.
Wait, how did Bellingham score?
He
I saw
dribbled.
it.
Crossed.
He
Right.
I think Saka crossed it in. So.
for Bellingham in the France game.
No, in the Norway game.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going back.
Line up.
Maybe Rogers had it. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Gordon had it. Not Saka.
Okay, well, I still think he played well, but
Yeah, me too.
regardless, the
Rashford would have
France
done well.
England goes up 4-0 in the first half. France make a game of it, bringing it back to 5-3. Who comes off the bench, Luke, to end the game?
Bellingham.
Yeah, and Bellingham just ends it 6-4. I'd rather go home with a hat trick for Saka and a performance like that. Of course, from Bellingham, of course, I'd love to have played the final. However, brings us to the final, and I'm glad I'm not an Argentinian fan because they had 0 shots, either on or off target, in 90 minutes. Didn't get their first off-target shot until extra time. Spain
No,
obviously
Messi.
wins 1-0.
You can't
Um,
say they played well and deserve to win.
Yeah.
No, they were anti-football. So for all the listeners out there who have been bored by footy or gone and watched their children or even played in a game themselves where the other team is not there to truly try to score, this was this game. And with 15 minutes left in extra time, I was frightened we were destined to see the Dark Arts win, but Spain finally came through. It's interesting. Emilio Martinez, the keeper for Argentina, had 11 saves today in just the game alone. Do you know how many saves in the entire tournament Unai Simon had?
2.
9.
Oh.
So less than Emilio Martinez. So, yes, I do think the best team
He
won.
still got the Golden
Unfortunately, I
Glove.
think, I think
Who's the only team to score against Spain?
Belgium. I think Spain lack a little bit of a cutting edge up front, but they're good enough, so good elsewhere. And I think at the end of the day, Lamine Yamal is probably like, hey, all the other stars kind of turned up stats-wise, but I'll take the trophy home.
If we're looking at it this way, Belgium was the best team to play Spain, so technically Belgium, Spain. Are
Yeah,
like
anyway,
equal.
recap
Wait.
for the listener in case you were in a hole somewhere or cave and didn't see the Spain-Argentina game. Spain dominates, has all the shots. Just can't make them happen. I don't know that Emilio Martinez made any great saves, but he made some good saves.
He had
Spain
one.
just had an XG of basically 3 and just couldn't score. So
the I don't know if Nico
I
Williams
mean,
headed it, but
yeah,
that was a
no.
good
Nikos
save.
Williams headed it back for the assist for the volley.
No. Remember, it was a cross into the box. Nico Williams headed.
Oh yeah, that was a good save. Well, I don't know what Argentina was playing at. They didn't get Messi involved. Enzo Fernandez gets this is the life of an Argentine. He gets booked for complaining. trying to get other people cards. Meanwhile, Paredes and Tagliafico could have already had red cards. And then he loses his mind and goes in for a tackle on Kubarsi at 100%, and then he's off. And so maybe his absence in the final of extra time cost Argentina. But nonetheless, Spain win. I don't know. Any other thoughts, Luke,
Well,
Axel?
I have something a little bit off topic for everybody listening, like 4 people. I really do want to say that pressure does a lot to you as a player. It obviously it affects your performance in multiple ways, and proof of that is the most meaningless game in the whole entire World Cup was the best game in the whole entire World Cup.
True.
England, France.
England, France, 10 goals. No pressure on. Nobody really cares. They're playing a little bit for pride. But yeah,
Recess.
you see the intensity. You see what it means to play defense as Spain, or defense as Spain would attest to.
France
wins
doesn't
you,
know what that is.
Championships because they only let in 1 goal all tournament. Favorite moment of the World Cup, Luke?
Mine would would be England winning against Mexico in the Azteca.
Axel, what's your favorite moment?
Since Luke took that, I'm gonna go with the Rashford Meg in the France-England or England-France game.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
that was a good
That was
Meg.
good. That was probably the best move of the
On
tournament.
Zaire
for
Emery.
Sure. Ooh, my favorite moment of the tournament was Enzo Fernandez getting sent
Belgium
off.
beating USA.
Finally, the refs doing their job. I got to give the ref in the final, some kudos. He did a good
No,
job. I think
he did not do a good.
I think Tagliafico should have been
he
on.
got
Bro,
Yeah.
he didn't book anyone for the first 30 minutes when there should have been at least one
that would
yellow
have ruined
card.
the whole entire
would've
game.
happened.
It
He
was
should have booked some Argentine
Well,
players. But Argentine
yellows,
players
but
are
not
so good about
reds.
surrounding the ref and complaining immediately that, as England fans, we move on.
Every year,
Argentinian
every
fans
4
are still
years,
complaining to the
2
ref
years.
and haven't moved on. But we look forward to Spain playing England in September. Maybe we're going to be at that match. Maybe we're
Spain,
not.
England.
Spain, England,
Friendlies.
Nations League,
Oh,
September
Nations League.
20-something.
Same thing.
So that'll be interesting. And maybe England in 2 years when they host the Euros can get across the finish line. Do you guys know where the next World Cup is in 2030?
Morocco?
Morocco, Portugal, and Spain.
UAE.
But with
I
a
thought.
game also in Argentina, I believe in Uruguay to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the World Cup. I think my favorite moment, too, was
What are
doing
you
this podcast with you, though we have limited listeners. Hopefully we've educated some people out there about the whys, hows, and whats of world football. Spain wins its second World Cup. Wish it were England, but at least England left on a high. All right, any final thoughts, guys? All right, well, we'll be back at you with probably
EPL.
some EPL.
Champions League.
We'll do some EPL and Champions League games, and maybe even
Liga.
delve a little bit into the championship. But I think we're gonna
Morgan Rogers.
keep it about England. Yeah, what about that? That's a little bit of news.
Morgan Rogers went to Chelsea.
For $100+ million, so from Aston Villa. I don't know how Chelsea gets all that money. Anyway,
Top
like I
goalie.
said, we'll be back at you with EPL news, Champions League news, and some championship news along the way, and a variety of other sundry topics. So thank you for joining us. I know this probably wasn't our best work, but we wanted to sign off, at least for posterity's sake. Always call football football's life.